What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today just got some new Justice Hunter cards. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, come part notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out these new cards. So first off, these cards are actually released inside of Burst Protocol, which is going to be insane that we're getting new Yummy cards, K9, and Dracotail cards in this set. So let's go ahead and check out and see what these cards actually do and how broken they actually are. So first off, we do have a new fusion monster that looks absolutely phenomenal for Dracotail, and this card looks absolutely insane. This card is a level 6 light dragon fusion effect monster with 2400 attack and 1500 defense points, with its materials requiring one Dracotail monster plus a monster in your hand, with the ability that you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. For the first effect, you can target 2 Dracotail cards in your graveyard and a face-up card on the field of the same type as either of them, monster, spell, or trap, and shuffle all 3 into the deck. That is insane that this card has the ability to recycle your resources while also bouncing a card off the field, which is absolutely insane. The only downside to this card is you do have to have the same type of card between monster, spell, or trap, but that is ridiculously easy to pull off because Dracotail plays a consistent number of monster, spells, and traps in the deck, which is so cool, just helping you recycle your resources with this card. For the second effect, if 2 or more monsters are sent to the graveyard at the same time while this card's in the graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish when it leaves the field. So you can just instantly bring this card back to your side of the field, which is such a cool ability just to instantly special summon back this awesome card to your side of the field, while also being able to bounce cards off the field and recycle resources. This card is definitely going to see play and a great addition to Dracotail, giving us the ability to recycle some of those resources back into our deck. So this card is awesome. That is really, really good for Dracotail. So let's see what we have for the next one. Ooh, we're getting a new rank 9 for K9. That's super cool. Oh, I love the artwork of this card. This card looks so cool. Those look like Ripper's blades. That's really cool. Okay, so what is this? This card is called K9X Ripper Millennia. And this card is a rank 9 Wind Beast XZ effect monster that has 3100 attack and 2600 defense points, with its materials being 2 level 9 monsters. But we can easily make this card with force release, which is awesome. This card has the ability you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. For the first effect, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a K9 spell or trap card, force release, you can target up to 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard or banishment and shuffle them into the deck. So now we have basically the ability to quick effect, get rid of cards in your opponent's graveyard or banishment, because we can instantly summon out our copy or use our force release on our copy of Ripper to rank up into this card, then use its effect on summon to be able to just get rid of 2 cards out of your opponent's graveyard or banishment and shuffle them back in the deck, which can really mess up your opponent's plays, helping you have a little bit of graveyard control and banishment control, which is insane. That is a really good first effect. For the second effect, if this card attacks, defends your monster, does piercing damage, that's pretty good. I really like that ability, especially on a 3100 attack point monster. And for the third effect, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card, negate that effect, and destroy all cards on the field. Are you kidding me? That is insane. This card is going to replace Werewolf as the rank 9 of choice for K9. That is brokenly good. Wow. Okay. This is pretty good for graveyard control. You could have stopped at that. That was insane. Doing piercing damage is really good on a 3100 attack point monster, but it also being a monster negate from anywhere and then destroying all cards on the field, which is actually crazy powerful. That is so good. Wow. Okay. So when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, detach 2 materials from this card, negate the effect, and destroy all cards on the field. That is crazy. So now we have 2 negates with K9 because you get a negate off of Ripper. Then you can just rank up into this. And then once you do, you can basically use it as a second monster negate and then destroy all cards on the field. That is actually insane how good of an engine now that K9 is. Like, it was already really good. But this takes it to a whole new level to be able to actually rank up into this and then use it as a second monster negate and a board wipe. This card is crazy good for K9. Okay, so what do we have for Yummy? We have a new continuous trap card, which is really cool looking. I actually love this card. This card is called Assist Yummy. And this card is a continuous trap card, and you can only use one of the second and third effects of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. For the first effect, once per turn during the standby phase, you can gain 100 life points, then your opponent loses 100 life points. Not that big of a deal, especially since we don't really have the same time rules as before. For the second effect, during the main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can send 2 face-up Yummy cards you control to the graveyard, including this card, to return 1 card in the field of the graveyard back to the hand. Yummy now has a balance that is non-targeting. That is actually really, really good. During your opponent's main or battle phase, turning this card into an interruption is actually insane, because you can easily get to this card with your copy of Marshmallow, and that's really, really good. And also recycle it, which is just insane. This card is definitely going to see play in Yummy, at least as a 1-of in the deck. For the third effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard, send a Yummy card from your deck to the graveyard, except another copy of this card. That's a pretty good ability too, to get some of our names into rotation, which is actually really, really insane. But that is some really good artwork. I absolutely love the artwork of this card. This is such a cute cat. I love Yummy. It's such a good deck. It's so cool to actually see it doing so well. But the K9 card is hands down the best takeaway of all 3 of these cards, with the K9 card, in my opinion, being the best because you can use K9 as an engine, the Yummy card being the second best, and I feel like the Dracotail card is probably the third best, but it's still really, really, really good. But this is actually a Ripper actually forced released into its true form, which is so cool. It's just an upgraded version of Ripper. That is so cool to actually see, and it's awesome to actually see support for more of the Justice Hunter cards, which is just absolutely amazing. Usually they get about 2 waves of support. It's just actually insane that this is the second wave of support that we've gotten for them after their initial release. But the new fusion monster with Dracotail is great, basically giving us the ability to recycle some of our resources. It's probably going to be a 1-of to basically just recycle resources, target a face-up card on the field. It's the same type as either the monster spell or trap and shuffle in the deck. I wish it didn't target. That'd be really good that if it didn't target, but it's still really good. And then being able to special summon itself back to your side of the field is insane. This card is borderline broken, with the ability to be able to just board wipe the field and use it as a monster negate, and having the ability that if it's summoned out to your side of the field, it banishes or just basically shuffles back a banished card and or 2 cards from your opponent's graveyard back in the deck, which is so good just to be able to just recycle resources, which is insanely good. And using this card as a monster negate and to destroy all cards in the field is just insane. This card is crazy good, especially being able to use it in certain points when your opponent's turn, being able to just use those abilities, because it is a quick effect to use it as a monster negate. This card is going to be actually insane and is just so good for K9. And then the new Yummy card is just really good, being able to use that second effect during the main phase or your opponent's battle phase to quick effect send 2 face-up Yummy cards you control to the graveyard, including this card, to return 1 card on the field or graveyard back to the hand, non-targeting. And I will mention it just says return 1 card from the field or the graveyard back to the hand, meaning we can actually recycle cards from our own graveyard, which is pretty good because it just says from the field or graveyard to the hand. It doesn't specify yours or your opponent's, so you technically could recycle hand traps with this, which is actually pretty good overall to be able to use this card. This is actually pretty broken as well, depending on the utility of this card, but I just feel like this card, with how easy it is to rank up into this card is the most broken card of them all. I feel like the K9 card is the best, and it's probably going to end up being a secret rare in Burst Protocol for the TCG. This might be an Ultra. This is probably going to be a secret as well. But now these cards are just going to be insane at a burst protocol. I'm so excited for these because all three of these decks are just so much fun to be able to play. And it's insane the support that we are actually getting for these three decks. And it's just absolutely crazy how good they are. I cannot wait to actually see what else we're going to get for this and how people are going to be using these cards, because this is insane. This is really, really good. So that's going to do this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can come part of Notification Squad, and definitely rank these cards down in the comments down below of which one you think is the most broken and out of the three. And I will see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.